What's up, people? It's Trevon here from Tech Studios. I know it's been a while, but I have another project for you guys today. So, I am making a turbo delay timer today. It's essentially to delay the off time of my turbo oil pumps because my turbos are bottom mounted in the car. If I just turn the pumps off as soon as the car is off, it's going to let oil pool into the exhaust, and later on when I turn the car back on, it's going to shoot all that oil out and it's going to be black smoke everywhere, and we don't want that. Bad for the environment. Yeah. So we're gonna make a timer for it. That way we can keep the pumps going after the car's turned off. And I was looking to buy one, and then unfortunately all the ones that I saw, they were either super expensive or they were super cheap, and just I didn't really trust them. And this one here that I'm making, I believe it's a lot better than the super expensive one, and it's way more reliable than the super cheap ones. So essentially what we're using here is we're using an Arduino Uno and a Mosfet and two resistors. So I'll explain the circuit to you right now. You can see me soldering up the board right now too. So what we're doing is we're taking a voltage in from the car. So say like a fuel pump signal, say when the car's on, the fuel pump's on, we're gonna take that and feed that into the Uno. That's what I did. The Arduino Unos, they can use, I believe, 5 volts to 12 volts for a voltage in to turn the board on, but they cannot accept any more than 5 volts going into the pins on the board. And because the car's a 12 volt system, what I did to get that 12 volts down to a range, I believe it was 3.3 to like 4.7 volts for the voltage range that I was using. I used a simple voltage divider formula, which was just two resistors, or voltage divider circuit. I don't know why I said formula. There's a formula for it, but I used the circuit, and it's just two resistors. I believe it was a 470 kilo ohm resistor and a 1 million ohm resistor, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's just those two resistors, and I was able to get the voltage dropped down to, I believe it was somewhere around like 3.6 volts when the car was off, somewhere like that. And whenever the car turns on, that voltage is just going to tell the Arduino, okay, hey, the car is on now, so turn the pumps on. And the Arduino is going to kick the pumps on with the MOSFET. The Arduino drives a pin, sends voltage to the MOSFET turns power on to the pumps. In my case, because I have two pumps, I have a relay connected to that MOSFET. That way the MOSFET turns on the relay to turn on the pumps. So it's essentially like a light switch turning on another light switch to turn on the load, I guess. But that's essentially how I made this circuit work. The cool thing isn't the circuit, it's actually in the codes. Because most of the turbo timers that I saw online, they either had one timing setting or they just didn't work at all, or yeah. So this one here, it's variable. So say my engine's on for, I say 15 seconds. I was just testing something, like I wanted to take the voltage or something in the car. I don't want the pumps on, so the pumps are just going to turn off immediately after the car turns off. Say I had the engine on for 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, somewhere like that. Pump's going to stay on for 30 seconds. If I had the car on for, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes, pump's going to stay on for, I guess, 2 or 3 minutes. I forget what I put in the code, somewhere like that. And anything longer than, let's say, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that, the pump's only going to stay on for 10 minutes, or I believe it was 10 minutes in my code, somewhere like that. But that's essentially how I did it. That way I don't just waste time with the pumps just drawing nothing out of the turbos. And sometimes I get worried about the pumps actually drawing oil from the sump into the turbos. So that's why I wanted to make this little variable timer. That way the pumps aren't just running like full-blown 10 minutes all the time. And before I actually put it in this timer, I'd actually sit in the car with the key on. That way the pumps can run while the car was off for 10 minutes. And if I didn't do that, I would get out and get back in the car, and it'd just be black smoke everywhere. So essentially right now I'm in the workshop. I'm making the harness that I'm putting into the car. I tried to salvage as much of the old harness as I could for the pumps, but I couldn't, so I ended up making a new one. So that's what I'm doing here. You guys don't have to worry about making a new harness unless you have to do one, but that's essentially what I'm doing here. But other than that, it's super simple. I'll post the code up below. I'll post it in the description below, and you can get the circuit diagrams. I don't know where the post was at. I guess I'll just put it in a Dropbox below also. So yeah. Okay, and right now I'm testing the pumps.
Alright, so we got everything working here. It's just...
My brain froze here. So I'm doing a voiceover and my brain literally just froze while I was doing that outside. I don't know what happened. So I'm gonna turn the car on real quick and turn it back off. And you see the pumps turned off immediately. And I'm gonna leave it on for, I think it's 15 seconds right here. Maybe it was 30 seconds, I don't remember. Okay, key's out right now. And you can see the pumps are still on, you can listen.
Keys out. Car is off.
And the pumps are still running.
Those are still running down there, so the delay is in effect. It should be 30 seconds when the pumps will turn off. I think I had it in for 15 seconds. I had the key on for 15. Yeah. So, all done.
But if you guys like stuff like this, just like and subscribe. Let me know that you want to see more stuff like this, and just